Hi guys, so welcome back to another video of chart reviews. I'm going to make some changes over to my chart review method. For stocks which there's really nothing to comment on, I will just say there's nothing to comment and I will skip it lah, okay? Because I need to save a bit of time. My schedule is quite packed, so I don't really have the time to review each and every chart when there's nothing to review on the chart lah, okay? So without further ado, let me just start. So for CLASSITA is skip. There's nothing to review. There's basically no volume. It's basically just going all the way lah. Okay. Next KYM, I think the volume is starting to come in here. But if you look at it, you will notice that there's a high volume here, but like half of it is selling lah. Okay, so if the stock is not able to actually break out from this zone, I don't think it's going to be, I don't think there's anything interesting lah, okay, to be honest. And it's quite far from the previous high lah. I think it has dropped almost 50%. Okay. The funny thing is there are a few days where there's literally zero price movements, which is quite something weird for me lah. Okay. So for me, I don't think it looks good lah. Okay, if you are looking for a support and resistance level, this entire area should be a resistance to me lah. Okay, about this zone over here, 512 to 545, while the support should most likely be the low here lah, 41 cents. Okay. EKOVEST. Okay, in my watch list, in my list of case studies, I actually did not include any construction counters. But while reviewing all the stocks in Bursa, I did notice that construction counters seem to be having some form of momentum. Okay, seems like, you know, it's coming back lah. Okay, so in terms of EKOVEST, I think it looks not bad. I just don't really like the candle on Friday because it's a higher volume one and it's red, and you can see there's a wick over here lah. Okay. Other than that, you can actually see if we actually draw the pattern, it will look something like this. Okay. So when you look at it, it has actually challenged the downtrend line 3 times and it managed to break out slightly higher volume over here. Okay. And then you can see that it's attempting to build a base over here lah. Okay. So for me, it looks good. Just that the Friday's candle it's not so encouraging for me lah. Okay, so I think you have to wait to see whether this base becomes a valid base or not, and if it does, then it's going to be quite good. Okay, because it's a breakout from the downtrend line and then form a base, which is to me it's quite bullish lah. Okay. Okay, next EWINT, nothing to comment on it. For me, I will skip because there's literally no movement at all over here lah. Okay. Next is CENGILD. I think it's forming lower lows. I think it's already about 52-week low, and you can't really do anything if the stock continues going down lah. Okay, even if you look at it from a longer time frame kind of view, it is still continuously going down lah. Okay, no matter what you do with the thing. Okay, already break 52-week low, so I don't think it's good at all lah. Okay, day 3. Let's see when I noticed on day 3. Okay, I actually noticed day 3 from October 30th, which is about here, I guess. Yeah. Okay, but I think in the previous videos I did mention that day 3 looks like it's bottoming. Okay, which is this area, because there's one candle over here, very nice, and then sideways over here with very low volume lah. Okay, so if you look at day 3 today, there is a high breakout volume over here. I anticipated that it may come back down to retest this previous resistance, but it didn't. It came to the lowest of 3.8 only, and then it rebounded on Friday with quite impressive volume lah. Okay, this volume is quite similar to the volume over here. This is 39 million. This is 24 million. Sorry, not really similar lah, honestly. It's more similar to the hammers candle volume. To me, I think it looks pretty good. There is a breakout from the base, the first base. Okay, and then it reached the previous resistance over here, and it decided to go for a pullback. So if you notice, the pullback here is accompanied with very low volume, way lower than the 10 days average, which is a very good thing to have. And finally Friday it broke out lah. Okay, so for me day 3, I think it looks good, and maybe bound to continue its trend lah. Okay, most likely the bottom already found lah, which is here. Okay, So if you look at the bottom over here, this is this will be your first higher low lah. Okay, and then when you break out from here, you already break out from the first resistance, and then you'll form a first higher high. Okay, so things are looking good for day 3. Next is SKBSHUT. SKBSHUT's candle price movement is a bit volatile recently. Something that I don't really like. There has been 2 high candles over here, but this high volume later on got closed lower. Not really high volume lah, the subsequent trading days. Okay. But if you look at it in a shorter time frame, it looks like it's forming a higher lows along the way. So generally, it looks quite constructive lah. Okay. I think that it is on a the gradient of the uptrend is not so steep lah. It looks a bit normal, a bit more normalized compared to how it was previously. Okay, so if you actually see the trend here was kind of like this steep. Okay, while the current one is something like just like this. Okay, quite far difference lah. Again, you will need to give some time to the stock to prove itself to see whether it's really going up or not lah. Okay, but the erratic candle movement isn't that it's not something that I like to see lah. Okay, you will need to give some time for the stock to prove itself. Okay, next YBS. I think YBS posted not posted lah. YBS had quite a very strong candle over here, but like I mentioned before, bullish engulfing candle is only valid if it appears at the during a downtrend. Okay, because a bullish engulfing candle signals a possible trend reversal, but this bullish engulfing candle actually appeared in the middle of sideways. So it's literally not valid lah. So the next day you see the candle actually ate almost half, with almost similar volume of the previous day. Okay, to me, I don't think this is such a good candle to have. I believe that you need to see what happens to the stock first, whether it's going to rebound or not lah. Okay, and also bear in mind that quarter report is going to be released next week, most likely based on TradingView's estimation. If it releases next week, then of course the stock will move accordingly lah. The previous time it released, there was a gap down. Okay, so you need to be a bit cautious on this. Okay, support and resistance wise, this is the gap resistance 0.705. Okay, MFLOUR. I think MFLOUR is good since the breakout last week, but the candle hasn't really, like, you know, the candle is not a solid candle compared to the breakout candle lah. Okay, the subsequent days candle are all mostly higher. The wick is above, and the volume is also quite high lah. Okay, so I believe there is quite a lot of resistance over there, which you will need to overcome. Most likely you will attempt to do a pullback first before attempting to go higher lah, since there's a lot of resistance above. Okay, so this is definitely your resistance lah. Okay, has challenged it for 4 days, 4 times. Then this is also one resistance over here. Okay, I don't know where the support will be because I don't think it has formed the support yet. You will have to wait and see lah. So you need to give the stock some time during the pullback. Okay. Menang. If you look at Menang, it has literally already broke out from the downtrend. Okay, so let's look at Menang in this manner. 1, 2, 3, and the third time it actually broke out. Okay, look at the candle. The volume is quite high. It's currently standing above the candle's wick high lah. Okay, above here. So if you ask me, I think it looks pretty constructive. This consolidation over here is actually quite good. Look at the volume, it's quite low lah. Okay, and then this big candle over here. Okay, and then after that it continues sideways. Not really a bullish engulfing candle, because it appeared during sideways, but generally it looks quite constructive because the volume has shrank quite well lah. Okay, so it's now attempting to break out. Generally, I think it's good. Okay, your next resistance would definitely be this one. I mean, the one that is facing is at this level, and I think the next one will be somewhere here lah. Okay, Volcano, I think quite similar to Menang's chart. It's also kind of consolidating. Just that Menang one, the consolidation is, I mean, the pullback is not so aggressive lah. Volcano's pullback, when it falls, it's much more aggressive if you compare. Okay. Other than that, I think it's still sideways. And you just need to be a bit cautious to see, is this a distribution or a accumulation. Okay. In terms of Menang, to me, I think it's accumulation because it has broken out. So, but Volcano, I think it hasn't broken out yet since the consolidation around this level. So, I prefer to let stocks prove themselves okay, then you know, speculating what will happen to it. Okay, so yeah, PESTECH, yeah, generally PESTECH is still on an uptrend. But I think the gradient of movement is no longer that strong okay. As I mentioned before, this entire level, which was a previous resistance, is now acting as a support, and of course it will act as a support until it's broken So currently this support seems to be quite valid. Okay, the recent days volume was quite low, seems to be quite good, and it's attempting to break out again okay. You will need to wait and see what happens to the stock. Okay, but currently it's still forming higher lows along the way. KAREX, super high volume recently, but there is no stock that will go up forever okay. If you have a very high volume coming in, you need to see whether it's just a pump and dump or is it real okay. But in terms of the stock in as a whole, it may have just found bottom okay. It's not like it just found bottom V shape and come up back. It has been, you know, sideways ding dong for quite some time already, so it's now finally breaking out This should be the first resistance level, 68. Okay, then the next level will be somewhere here 70, which seems like also break out already, and then the next one will be here 75. Okay, that's for KAREX. EATECH. Okay, this was a high volume breakout. Wait, let me see. Okay. Okay. This high volume breakout is quite obvious that it couldn't break out from the previous high of the 38.5 okay, 38.5 cents. So it came back down. The volume is also quite high so you take note that the resistance is quite strong over there. Okay, so it has actually pulled back to about this level, which is almost a 50 days moving average, and kind of rebounded from there. For me, it's something good okay. So you need to wait and see. Like I mentioned in other stocks, you need to wait and see what happens to the counter before you need to let the stock show you what it wants to do okay. But currently the volume seems to be quite dry already, and it seems to be still uptrending okay, for EATECH. I think the thing that will make it look like it's no longer uptrend is once it breaks down from about this zone 25 cents. Okay, next stock, OVH. I would like to skip this stock because if you look at OVH in a longer time frame, like longer duration, there is literally just a volume over here, then down, volume down, then no volume again. It seems like it's repeating the pattern okay, so I skip. EMICO, I think the breakout volume is quite strong. It has been not doing anything for a very long time okay. Considerably, I will skip the stock as well. Okay, but I just highlight this one a bit. This is like volume come in, then gone again, volume come in again, then previously also volume come in again, then gone okay. But I just highlight, if you look at it on a weekly time frame, it has kind of been consolidating for a very long time okay. But you just bear in mind that the volume is on and off okay. Next stock, SCIB. I think SCIB has kind of risen from the dead. Okay, it's slowly going up, little by little okay. I think it's a bit hard to pick out a resistance level because of the pattern of the stock movement. Okay, this should be the next resistance level, and what I mean by the pattern of the stock movement is, okay, see this pattern it looks exactly the same, right? Over here, Okay. I can't remember lah. I think this one. This one is because high price so you see smaller a bit. If you pull up, then you'll see something similar. Okay. So honestly, I can't really comment on where's the support and resistance. It depends on the market lah. Okay. YTL. I think you compare YTL and YTL Power. YTL Power kind of broke off from the previous high already. Okay, it's more bullish lah compared to YTL. I don't really like the candles lah, to be honest. Okay, there are a lot of upper wicks along the way. Okay, you look at the rally previously, when the candles close, you don't always find candles with upper wicks. You see one upper wick over here, then close nice again. Then this one gravestone doji, then don't have. Then one upper wick here, and then QR release, it jumped up. Then it started coming down again. But you look at this one, I don't really like this candle lah. This is just my own personal opinion. Okay. So my support and resistance hasn't changed. I think it needs to break out from those levels before it can prove itself that is going up again lah. Okay. Maybe you can just add this as one of the resistance. Okay. HEVEA. Like I mentioned before, generally it's uptrending. The high volume is just a breakout volume lah. Okay. Nothing very surprising or what. I think I did mention that it has been challenging the resistance for multiple times, and it's trading within this box lah. Okay, so this is just a breakout candle. You see if it's able to break out from this level and continue lah. If it is, then yes, it has actually found bottom and it's going to finally reverse its trend lah. If not, then it's just a dead cat bounce lah. Okay, DSONIC. I don't think there's anything much to review here. Looking at this candle, high volume, then come back down, it doesn't really look like there's much for me to comment lah. Okay, it looks more like pump and dump nowadays lah. No longer like the glory days last time. I think last time it was like 1 ringgit. Almost lah. Yeah, or last time, yeah, 1 ringgit. Okay, other than that, I don't think there's anything much lah. Okay, SDS. Wow, high volume this day, drag 2 days, then sell down. Don't look really good lah. I think SDS is something to do with cakes and flour. I think I can't really remember. Generally it's still moving uptrend lah. Okay, it's still somewhere here. Okay, it's still moving uptrend. In terms of trend, I think it's still okay. But the recent selling volume is a bit scary lah, especially this one. Okay, so I think you need to be a bit more careful. No, also. Okay, I think you need to be a bit more careful lah. And the quarter report is coming out soon, so you will need to observe and see lah what reaction the quarter report really has. Okay, support and resistance wise, I think this is supposed to be the resistance. It actually shot up quite a lot, but close back low lah. That means most likely it's kind of like, you know, retailers volume lah here. Okay, MYCRON. Wow, I got nothing to comment on this. I will skip this. Okay, volume is just 1 day, then comes down, no trading at all, and then volume again, then no trading, so skip lah. AWANTEC is moving uptrend. I don't have much to comment on this counter because I think this counter was almost considering to be delisted, but somehow it's still there, and people are trying to push it up lah. Okay, so for me, I don't have much to comment. This will be the gap resistance, 39 cents. Yeah, the support is here lah, 285. Okay, SEALINK. Something like SDS or what? No lah, not SDS. It's generally still uptrending lah. You know, testing the 50 days moving average as support, to see whether it can move higher or not. Wait, Okay, it's technically testing the 50 days moving average support lah. Okay, whether it wants to go up or down, I think you need to give give it some time, because it has challenged the 50 days moving average in a matter of 2 to 3 weeks, which is not something very good lah. Okay, if you want to see something very good on a 50-day moving average, it's something like the stock moves up, then it hits the 50 days moving average, and then it rebounds. Then it rebounds and continues going higher. So when it does, then we call it a magic line lah. But this one in short period of time already touched 2 times. I personally I don't think it's good lah. Okay, but you can monitor and see lah. This is just my own assumption, my own personal opinion. It may not be right lah. Okay. ANCOMNY NILEX. My personal opinion is I don't think it will be good lah. Okay, because yeah, it came back to challenge the previous resistance level. But after the high volume breakout, I don't see like there's some momentum in it lah. Okay, it may be a huge washout before it decides to go higher. I'm not so sure, but generally I don't really like what I'm seeing lah. Okay, until and unless it's able to break out from this entire chart pattern, I don't think it's going to be good lah. Okay, so like I say, you need to let stocks prove themselves lah. Okay. EFRAME, again another stock where you see the recent price action candles are full of higher wicks, which means there are a lot of sellers over here lah. So not something that's very good to have. Okay, in a chart. And plus you can see the volume is actually quite high. That means you know that there are really a lot of people selling lah. Okay. CHINHIN. Very high selling volume from here. But I think if you are asking me about CHINHIN, you are expecting it to have bottomed already lah, and starting to attempt to go higher. Okay, you just need to take note that the recent days candle is okay. You imagine this lah. This candle is 164k. Okay, it has moved about 12 bits. Okay, 164k. Then you compare the previous day volume of 230k, and it only moved 4 bits. So for me, there's an anomaly here lah, which I don't like lah. Okay, for me, when the stock price moves up, they should move with a higher volume, not lower volume. Okay, this is like the other way around to my concept. So generally I don't think it's good. I don't know whether it will be a dead cat bounce or not, but of course the moving averages also don't look very positive here. Okay, so that's what CHINHIN. Hex Industries, I have no comments. I think I commented many times already, and there is no change in the movement now. Okay, there's just one high volume, and the next day there's no follow through, so skip. Okay. Glove counters. Supermax and TOPGLOV, I don't think it's as nice as KOSSAN and HEVEA. TOPGLOV, I think, is really struggling. Supermax seems to be a bit lighter. Okay, but anyone who asked Supermax, TOPGLOV, I don't know. I think it was the same person, but KOSSAN I don't know lah. Okay, just comment on all three one shot lah. So for Supermax, I think it looks quite good. So you can see, like, this was a very big consolidation area, and it just gapped up, and it is not coming back down lah. Okay, so generally, if you ask me, I think Supermax looks quite good lah. Okay, your support and resistance should be somewhere. This is your previous resistance. You see, hit here. This will be your support, and if you're looking for the next resistance level, then it should be somewhere here lah. Okay. TOPGLOV, I think the chart is a bit worse lah. Okay, if you compare with Supermax, HEVEA and KOSSAN, I think TOPGLOV is the worst lah at the moment. Okay, even the high volume also, for me, I don't think it pushed it up much lah. It looks like just a bit only. Okay, that's for TOPGLOV. And then for KOSSAN, I think everyone gapped up together with HEVEA as well, and generally I think it looks quite good lah. Okay, the consolidation over here, then it gapped up, is challenging, the previous recent high. Okay, if you compare with TOPGLOV, I don't see challenging a recent high lah. Okay, you see KOSSAN, it formed a high over in May, and if you compare with KOSSAN, you compare with TOPGLOV, TOPGLOV is miles behind to actually reach 120. Okay, and if you compare with Supermax, it's still very far. Okay, but compared to KOSSAN, it's already, you know, almost there. So if you ask me, I think KOSSAN looks good lah. Okay, compared to the other two. Okay, that's for glove lah. Okay, UZMA, oil and gas counter, I think generally will depend on the oil prices lah. Okay, whether the Brent oil prices will continue going higher or not. If inflation is true, I think most likely you will lah. Commodities prices will actually go up. Not inflation, sorry, recession. So it depends lah whether they go into a recession or not. I mean, or the whole world goes into a recession or not. Okay. Other than that, I think the candles are with lower volume, I guess. Okay. Like this breakout is of high volume, but recently it's quite low lah. Okay. If you notice, a lot of stocks recently, the volume of participation has been reducing. Okay, not only UZMA. So for oil and gas counter, you will need to follow the oil prices lah. Okay. Capital A, I don't really have much comment for Capital A. You need to you look at the chart, you know it's not good. Okay, it's obviously going down, and this, you know, just pump up to the trend line and coming back down is not a good thing to have lah. Okay, volume has been really low lah recently. Okay, so for me, I don't like Capital A, and quarter report is coming out soon lah. Okay, so just be a bit careful. MAHSING, like I mentioned for the EKOVEST review, I think generally construction counters have something behind. They seem to be doing quite well based on when I'm screening through the stocks lah. Okay, so there may be something behind this increase in prices for the construction counters. Okay, for MAHSING, generally I think it's still moving on an uptrend recently lah. Recently, okay, from here to here, generally still moving uptrend. Okay, yeah. Other than that, I think it depends on the market sentiment lah. Okay. EDGENTA, really sideways lah. Nothing much to comment really. Okay, just really sideways. Even the volume has shrank badly. Okay. Really, there's nothing much to comment over here lah. Okay. MYNEWS, sideways, generally just sideways. The volume is a bit mischievous, a bit abnormal. Thursday's volume is 3.3 million, next day volume 64.5k, but continuously it's been going down lah. Okay, this is a bit weird, this volume. You can just follow the support and resistance lah. Okay, MI, like I mentioned before, this is not the first time I'm listing. If you look at this one, I actually mentioned as early as October already, October 16, which is somewhere here lah. Okay, I actually already mentioned here that it looks quite good lah, generally, MI. Okay, so if you look at MI, it is already quite high lah. Okay, this is what. If he's able to break above here, then sky is the limit lah. Okay, already broke 52-week high already. Okay, if he cannot, then of course you will see coming back down. But generally, it's moving within this uptrend channel lah, which is something very good lah. Okay, so yeah, that's about MI lah. And moving averages seems to be tuning in lah. Okay, Fpgroup. Fpgroup had quite a good breakout. Okay, in my personal opinion, I think the breakout was quite good lah. Okay, from here. Then it continued going higher, then it broke out from here, quite nice also. Okay, and then it reached a level of 485. Based on the pattern, I thought it will reach about to at least close the gap, but so far it didn't lah. Okay, so yeah, Fpgroup was one of my case studies as well. So far it didn't lah. Okay, October 30th I already spotted it. You see it somewhere here lah. Okay, so then it came back down to form a new low of 445. So if you look at it, it looks more like a very flat kind of uptrend lah. Okay, like this, then go up like this. I don't know lah. Okay, I simply draw one line only, but it's forming a higher lows lah. Okay, after testing the previous resistance twice. Okay, so generally I think it still looks okay, and the volume has been quite thin lah. Okay, MAGNI, wow. MAGNI is literally a dividend counter lah. You don't expect the growth rate to be that huge lah. Okay, I think MAGNI put it as a case study previously around here, and then I undercut this one. This is a okay. For the person asking MAGNI, I just share some knowledge lah. This is a typical operator washout. Okay, see this is the support. Okay, and a lot of people will tell you, oh, you know, when you set cut loss, you must set you set as support. Newbie will set as support lah. So if you set at 1.89 or you set at 1.88, gone lah. Okay, so this is a typical washout. You look at the volume, they just wash you out so that you get the this stop loss SSL lah. Okay, automatic stop loss one. Okay, so this is a typical operator trick lah. Okay, so okay, putting that aside, I think it's generally sideways now. Nothing much to comment here. Okay, you will need to see lah where it goes. Okay, CEB, I think it's quite obvious it's downtrend. Okay, there's nothing much to review lah in the downtrend counter like this. Okay, downtrend generally you either have to wait until it forms a very nice flat base like Menang, Day 3 or GLXT. Okay, until it forms a flat base, then only you look back. Otherwise, every week you will just be looking at it going lower and lower lah. Okay, ABLEGRP, no comments. I'm going to skip ABLEGRP because if you look at the chart, it's quite obvious lah that there's really nothing. Okay, Asia Ply, again I skip. Again, if you look at the chart, there's really nothing to comment lah. It's just sideways all the way, you know. So yeah, I will skip this also. VZ1 I will also skip. There's also nothing. Okay, the volume comes in here, disappears, comes in here, disappears, and flat. Okay, so again I will not comment on it also, so we skip. Jetson, Jetson is something like what CAB needs. Okay, to come down, form a flat base like this, very nice one, and then break out on high volume. Seems to be continuing lah, but you depends lah over here. Okay, whether it forms a new base or not. It has to form a new base before it can continue going higher. Okay, so yeah, you have to wait and see lah. But this sell down was quite scary lah, so I think this would have scared a lot of retailers out, then form a flat base, people accumulate, then shoot up. Okay, so if you ask me where is the next support and resistance, I will assume this is the next resistance, and your support should be here lah. It should be higher than this. Okay, Zealand, I will skip this stock. I don't think there's anything to comment over here. Looking at the volume, it's just spike, nothing, spike, nothing, spike, nothing, spike, nothing, spike. I don't know whether you will repeat or not, but yeah, that's what the chart says lah. Okay, Theta. Yeah, I noticed Theta actually had a super high volume of running up really a lot that day, and yeah, since then I don't think the volume has been that encouraging lah. Okay, we look at the past history of Theta. No volume, up, no volume, up, no volume, up. I don't know what will happen after this. Generally I don't have much to comment on Theta also lah. Okay, Salute. Okay, for stocks like Salute, if you have the time, then I think it's quite an interesting stock lah. Okay, but if you don't have the time, I don't think it's an interesting stock. Okay, I think Salute has a case with Apple, and people are betting that Salute wins the case. I think. Okay, generally there's no chart pattern over here. Okay, it's really just whatever it is lah. Okay, and even if you switch it over to the weekly time frame, there isn't really a chart pattern lah. Okay, so a huge candle like this with a red volume is not something good to have lah. Okay, so yeah, that's about Salute lah. I also don't have much to comment. Next stock is ECA. I think the sell down has been quite aggressive. They may be bound to have a small pullback in terms of selling lah. Okay, it may just you know, like they cap bounce, that kind of thing. But currently it's going lower low lah. Okay, it has already formed a new 52-week low. Nothing is interesting lah for me in the stock now. Okay, you will just need to wait until the stock forms a base before it attempts to go back higher. Okay, and my last stock pause, I will skip this stock. Generally, there's really nothing for me to nothing in this stock for me to see. Okay, here one volume, then nothing. Let's suddenly volume come again. Okay, so yeah, that concludes my chart review for this week. I know it's much shorter than how I usually do it, but I'm really lacking of time, and my partners are not ready yet. Okay, so I hope you can bear with me. If you are lost and you need some chart reviews or further explanation, you can always PM me lah. Okay, I will try and find time to actually explain it to you. Okay, and if I'm actually free during the on whichever day or during the weekends, we can actually have a short one-to-one session lah. Okay, to discuss about it. That's not a problem. Other than that, yes, I will be skipping stocks which are really, you know, there's no comment one, really penny, because I prefer to do chart reviews on stocks where there's something for me to share about lah. Okay, there's no point you know, you ask for a chart review, then the stock has been hovering over the same price for like, I don't know, 1 year or something. I mean, there's nothing. You also know there's nothing. Okay, it is a chart review. It's not a crystal ball prediction on, you know, where it's suddenly going to go up or go down. Okay, so I will try and share whatever I know, the knowledge that I have on charts which you know, is shareable lah. On charts which, you know, it's just pump and dump, 1-2 days it goes up, then it vanishes the volume, then I don't think there's much to share over there lah. Okay, so apologies for those who feel that maybe their charts were skipped because of whatever reason. It's not because I purposely want to skip it, but there's really nothing to say about lah. Okay, so yeah, with that, before we end, the disclaimer, this entire video is just for educational purpose only. All the stocks mentioned are just reviews and my own personal opinion. Okay, it should not be considered as a buy or sell call. And if you require a buy or sell call, please look for your license remisier lah. Okay, so with that, I will conclude, and I hope to see you all again next week. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Bye bye.
If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.